Oh, the Daily Mail. What did they just do that I was saying had to do with SEO?
Oh, okay. We were talking about how sometimes when you're trying to find a really good story, it ends up being just a couple sentences. And the Daily
Oh,
Mail is one of those publications where they find a way to make any story at least like 5 paragraphs.
and they managed to get maybe 30, 60, a lot of articles a day across the board. They must pay a ton for writers, but we were talking about just the value of that and how they've been able to monetize from that. And in SEO, one of the variables that search engines use when deciding how they're going to put these articles is the length of the article. So
Hmm.
typically, if you were going to try to rank, as you know, you look at the competitors, see how many words they have, and try to top that. And it's one less thing that it could be, one fewer obstacle in that battle for it. Or you could just pay it like everybody else and get it up there eventually. But Daily Mail had been so effective with that strategy of gaming SEO that they were, if you recall, they would put this massive amount of links in every single article, kind of like you really were overzealous about citation, as if like you were really worried about that plagiarism charge. You're like, I'm going to
Yeah.
cite everything, and Google actually had to change the search engine just based on that. So it shows the effect of one company. When you think about journalism, it's funny to think about how much of what we just talked about, like the success of a journalism company, comes from tech, and like a thorough tech understanding. You're not going to be able to pay for all those writers. What did you think about when the companies were, I believe Le Monde in France was mad because social media or Google was putting their articles up. So they were saying like they're using our content and we're mad now because we're not getting paid by Google. Now we're obviously in marketing and understand that if Google started putting our sites up on first requests on all these articles and we had 1,000x our salary all of a sudden, I don't think that we would be contacting Google and saying, "Hey, jerks, how come you're not paying us to do this?" Like that's there are companies that base their whole life around getting positive SEO results. And
Yeah, but I think that's something you see in the industry, and I know that we've talked about it before, that a lot of these major news publications, they hide behind a wall of like, even like $1 a month or something like that, where they're trying to get people to sign up and have like this monthly charge to get full access. And they'll give you maybe like 5 articles or something until you can't access
yeah,
content anymore. And we've always really not understood this, like I think at this point, most readers are okay with ads. Like you see ads everywhere. You see them on your social media, you see them on your TV. So if you have some ads in your articles, I don't think people are gonna like really get upset about that. So why is it that they're worried more about getting this like subscription instead of just, having the right advertisers on their sites?
you have the control in Google to go in even and like take away bad ads that you don't like. Like you could really manually do it,
Exactly. I mean,
and
a
they're
lot
pretty
of
good doing
them
it.
you have to like contact your rep or something, but like what you're saying with Google, they will show you the ads that are showing up on your sites, and you can say like, I don't want this one anymore.
Yeah, yeah. We've had them stop on a few things. When you remember, we had a client who didn't want list acquisition type ads on his page, which is super smart when you are looking to get signups. you can go right to somebody's page who has an audience that's very much like yours and be able to just target that.
And I think that when you see companies that are worried about the subscription, they don't want their content to be anywhere. Whereas, like somebody like us, because we're using advertiser, the more people see our stuff, the more money we're going to make off of those advertisers. So, in our mind, like any traffic that we can get to the sites, if somebody wants to take our story, and
Yeah,
link it
for
back or something like that's definitely worth it for us. And I think a lot of these publications are probably going to start moving towards that at some point.
yeah, I could see a premium a kind of charge making sense, but not to the detriment of constantly hitting people with a paywall. Like,
Yeah.
we've joked about this before with the New York Times. Like, how serious are you guys about like spreading these very important stories when you don't give anything away for free? Some things like a blockbuster about a political candidate or
Or
something.
about Russian meddling or,
Yeah.
anything.
It's like, oh, this article about a possible nuclear strike, and then they're like, give me your dollar, give me your
Yeah,
dollar
exactly.
first.
You've already read
Yeah.
5 articles this month. You're cut off. Or it's like every voter needs to know these issues or like that this is going on. But